Welcome to another installment of exercise tips. This time we're talking about 3 tips for your deadlift. The first tip is going to be taking the slack out of the bar. This may be hard to see, but when setting up in the bottom of the deadlift, you want to ease into the tension of the pull as much as possible. This is accomplished by pulling your chest up and leaning your weight back towards your heels before initiating the lift. You can see in the examples that a heavy barbell will have some slack in it before it's pulled from the ground. Pulling this slack out of the bar will preload your spine and prepare your whole body for the lift, as opposed to jerking the bar off the floor, which results in a jarring initial shock. The next tip will deal with the pulling phase of the deadlift. Once you've pulled the slack out, we want to see the shoulders and hips rise at the same rate as the bar is lifted. This results in your back angle staying relatively constant from the floor to just above the knee. The issue we typically see is hips rising faster than the shoulders. Similar to the squat, this arises when an athlete has stronger hips than quads. This dumps most of the load into the lower back, which can be really dangerous. So when you're pulling, allow the shoulders and chest to lead the way as you stand. Lastly, we'll talk about the eccentric portion of the lift, or lowering the bar back to the floor. When we're performing multiple deadlift repetitions, each repetition will begin at the ground, is stood all the way up to the hip, and ends back to the ground. Unless we're lifting at maximum weights, the bar should not only be controlled on the way up to the hip, but also back to the floor. Like with any lift, we want the bar path to travel as straight as possible. A lot of times we see participants bending their knees too early, which is causing the bar to travel around their knees before hitting the floor. This leads to an improper setup, with the hips too low to begin the next repetition. A proper descent begins with the hips hinging back while the torso is traveling forward. This should allow the bar to clear the knees. Maintaining this torso angle, the knees bend slightly to finish to the floor. Come back next time for some more tips on exercise.